When it comes to traveling, you've heard the saying, when in Rome, do as the Romans do. That sounds pretty easy, right? Nah. Turns out you can get into some serious trouble around the world just trying to say hello. Now, globetrotter extraordinaire Lee Abbamonte is here to help us navigate through the turbulent waters of travel taboo. He's the youngest American to ever travel to every single country on the face of the earth. That's a crazy accomplishment.
Thank you very much.
So when you're out there, you can't just do things you do at home in other countries and not expect some sort of awkward situation, right?
Yeah, I mean, you just got to realize that things in different countries are different than they are here. What's considered polite here might not necessarily be considered polite abroad. For instance, in China, actually burping after a meal is actually considered polite and almost expected as like a compliment to the chef.
What's it like when the first time you're in China and all of a sudden you just hear people just like letting it rip all throughout the restaurant?
Well, I mean, if you have a sense of humor like a 12-year-old like I do, you laugh because it's kind of funny. But I mean, that aside, it literally takes a little while to get used to.
So tell me about Germany.
Yeah, in Germany, apparently they don't like to talk about sports. Actually, it's considered an uneducated thing to do. They love their sport and they love soccer or football, and you know they'll talk about it if you ask them, but apparently they kind of look down upon you if you were talking about it, even though they love it and go crazy about it.
So tell me about France.
In France, chewing gum is actually considered vulgar. If you chew gum, they really look down upon you, so go figure. But if you think that's weird, in Singapore, chewing gum is actually legal.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but I've heard stories that like if you get caught putting gum places like on a bench in Singapore, like that's serious.
Basically putting it under a bench or on the floor or on the street or whatever is actually considered a major offense, and it's punishable by caning.
Like getting whipped by a cane.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For chewing, wow.
Yeah, but you know, at the same time, I mean, we might think it's ridiculous, and I do think it's ridiculous, but there is zero crime in Singapore. There is zero litter. I mean, it's cleaner than Disney World. It's pretty wild.
Let's keep going down the list. Albania.
So in Albania, it's actually the opposite. They nod their head, which means no, and they shake their head, which means yes. So if you're in Tirana, which is the capital of Albania, and you say you want a Coke, and the waiter goes, yes, you'd be like confused. You'd be like, am I gonna get my Coke? You know, what's going on here? So it's really confusing, actually.
My father's home country, India. Tell me, what's up?
India is one of the most confusing countries in a lot of ways because, first of all, it's so big and there's so many people, it's kind of manic, but at the same time, they actually have the best service of any country in the world, even better than the United States or the Arab countries, which also have great service. In India, it's almost embarrassing how much they want to serve you. So it's like if you are at a buffet or something like that and you want, I don't know, more potatoes, and you try to go up, it's almost insulting the host that you don't allow him to go get it for you. So it makes you feel awkward and in a strange position, whereas you can't really do anything by yourself. They are supposed to do it for you, and it's like exciting for them to do it.
I've actually experienced that in my own home. Like my grandmother serves like my friends, and they feel bad because it's like, why is your grandma doing all this?
Yeah.
I'll do it, and she's like, no, I got it. And it is that kind of uncomfortable thing that you got to get used to.
Yeah, it definitely takes some getting used to, and I mean, it's nice, don't get me wrong, but at the same time, I'm more than capable of putting my own napkin on my lap or going up to get more potatoes or going to the bathroom, you know, without somebody following me or like whatever, you know?
So how do you travel and not make a fool of yourself?
I'm actually excessively cautious about like things that I do. And you know, I also do some like kind of studying up on what is polite and what is not in countries before I go.
Lee, thanks so much for stopping by, and your website.
My website is leeabbamonte.com, and then you can also find me on Twitter @leeabbamonte or facebook.com/leeabbamonte.
And from here, like tomorrow, you're going to some other place, right?
Yeah, I'm going actually to Cabo tomorrow and then to Australia for 3 weeks after that.
Dude, you are crazy. Thank you so much for stopping by.
Anytime, buddy. Thank you.